Hello, and thank you for joining me again. My name is Michael, and I just wanted to share with you all about surrender. And I learned about surrender from the book Absolute Surrender by Andrew Murray, and also from Celebrate Recovery, which is surrender is a big part of Celebrate Recovery. And it really is one of the a great study. It's a great thing to have knowledge of in a Christian walk. And the reason why I believe that is because I believe that, and uh, I don't know like how right this is. I just know that in my own life that has been a tremendous help. But I really believe that the measure to which we surrender our life to God and give our life to God is the measure to which He could use us uh, or the measure to which um, He can be seen in us, or the measure to which His power will flow through us. Because you know the, there's a sanctification process, and I believe that this is what sanctification is when we're surrendered over to Him in that way. It's like there's different territories within us. There's territories that belong to God, and there's territories that don't belong to God. Um, you know, like um, obviously bitterness doesn't belong to God. Obviously, hatred or slander doesn't belong to God. And so, if there's parts of us that are given over to that, um, or other things, obviously those are parts that aren't surrendered to God. But it's not always like that though. Sometimes there can be sneakier things like pain, sadness, other things that we wouldn't really necessarily think as being as bad. I guess I don't know. So there's it really is a deal of being sanctified. And Jesus said, "Sanctify them, Father, by means of your truth. Your word is truth." And so it's I think it's just a process of giving our lives over to God. And I'd like to give some really good examples of what to surrender. I've actually named a few right there. One of the greatest examples that I can think of for surrendering to God is pain, because God is close to pain and broken hearts. God is close to the brokenhearted to heal their heart and bind their wounds. And so I believe when we surrender to God and say, "Okay, God, I'll partner with that. Please heal my heart and bind my wounds," that He does. And also surrendering pain. Like I used to think that if I go to God and say, "Please heal me," that was enough, but it kind of isn't. Like I have to give Him what's troubling me. I have to give Him what hurts. And so I surrender my pain to God, and not only that, but I have to allow something to replace it, and I believe that is His comfort, because He's the God of all comfort. So I say, "Here's my pain, God, from this incident. Please comfort me." And sometimes giving Him my feelings is important too, surrendering my feelings to Him. And basically, the way that I do that is by explaining the way that I feel about the situation to Him. And I believe that David was a master at this. In Psalms, he was just completely talking about, um, how he felt and just giving it to God. And that's really, I believe, a really healthy thing. And just getting it out there and talking about it with God, and then giving it to God. Like, "Hey, I'm feeling angry about this and that wasn't right, and I give it to you. I surrender it to you. Like I know that you've got it handled, and you'll take care of it, and I just surrender the matter to you." And sometimes it gets complicated, but I think that's a really good thing to surrender. Situations that are beyond our control are a good thing to surrender. Um, uh, like storms, sometimes when we go through storms, whether it's physical, economic, um, like a health wise, physical, economic, relational. They could be religious. It could be a lot of different. There can be a lot of different storms, political. But